Thank you for tuning in to the best parenting show on the internet, Post Daily Dose.
It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post.
Oh my goodness. Hey there, Facebook family. This is Kristi, Saul, the co-founder of the Post+Institute, coming at you live straight out of church. And holy Moses. Wow, what a powerful experience I just came out of. I feel so very blessed to have found a place where I feel very loved and connected and rooted for my spiritual growth. And I'm telling you, sometimes it's so good to go kind of deep into that realm and really get into that deep spiritual connection. So I'm just kind of reveling in that still. Let me calm that down a little bit so I can articulate with the words some things I wanted to share with you guys. So the first thing I want to talk about a little bit is our Facebook page. We've been around for over 20 years, before Facebook was Facebook. And when we first started our Facebook page, most of our posts were all in writing, and David Durovy actually is an incredible writer, a dear friend of ours, has been a partner of ours. And so you could go back to posts like in, 2014 and see some just incredibly thought out writings on the topic of love-based parenting and calming our emotions and the importance of a connected parent-child relationship. And now we moved into creating more graphics, and those were things that I created. And you can tell when they're mine because it's a black screen. It's a black screen with white or blue letters, or vice versa, because I'm not, that's not my forte. I'm a thinker. But to take the time to find those beautiful pictures and choose the beautiful font, that's not my strength. So we brought some people on board, some young people, and it's been so beautiful. This process has been really beautiful, but it hasn't always been easy. So let me just say that sometimes things that are hard, just because something's hard isn't bad. I want to remind us all of that. And what we're going through in our growth spurt at the Post+Institute is I'm seeing some very interesting dynamics, and I just want to speak about that. So because we have these more impressive graphics, they're getting shared to new places, and that means that we have new people coming and making comments. So it's a very interesting time right now because we have some people who've known our model, taught our model. They know our model inside and out. They understand the neuroscience. And so sometimes because they know it so well, they can read a post. They've read From Fear to Love 5 times, and they go back to it once a month when they're struggling, right? Brian's book. And so they'll read a graphic and they'll instantly know what that's connected to, and they'll have that deeper understanding. But then there'll be somebody brand new to the model, and they'll read it and they'll be like, what does that even mean? And so I just want to talk about that. I want to talk about the fact that when you guys comment and let us know that it's not clicking for you, what it is we're trying to say, what we're trying to convey, that helps us. So it's okay. This is a safe place, and you're getting to watch growth happen before your very eyes, because the people who are doing the graphics, they've read the book once and they're learning. And when you're doing this level of social media for a company, it's almost like you have to learn all those little nuances to this process. And so, it's a pretty big deal what we're asking these young people to do. And I think they are coming along beautifully. The other thing is, I've noticed a few people, when somebody especially someone who's followed us for a long time, comments the need for correction or added context, that, somebody gets a little snide or, pay attention to the message or whatever, you know what? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. We've got a lot of new people coming around, and you know how the world acts. Out there in the world, how people act. And that we've created a great community here on Facebook. And as we bring more people into our community, then we're just going to need to have some grace and some mercy. And I want you all to have confidence, especially our old friends. I want you guys to have confidence that when we make a mistake and you point it out to us, that you're only helping us grow. And we're good with that, and if we, there have been times when I've put things on that, after I looked at it and read it, I was like, oh, I don't even like that. It made sense on my phone, and then I got it out there and it started shining. It's just like a thought. Really all of this, as I bring this back around, it's all just like how our brains and our thoughts work, that we may have a thought in our subconscious. There's something activated in our subconscious, and it's driving our behavior. And then once you start shining the light on it, you start shining a light on those emotions or the fears or whatever, it doesn't stand up. Well, it's kind of the same way it happens when we put something on social media that, we look at it, and once we put it out there for the whole world to see, then we go, wait a minute, thanks for pointing that out. Thanks for pointing that thought out. So we read and we notice and we look and we're learning and we're growing. And because it's not just Brian and I, then this is challenging me into a new arena, because it's not been easy for me to ask for help. But this message can't grow with it just coming from me and Brian. So we have to take the risk of inviting other people into this model and giving some control. And that's going to mean it's just like when our kids are stepping off into autonomy. See how it all mirrors each other? When our kids are stepping off into autonomy, they're going to do great, and then they're going to stumble, then they're going to do great, then it's just a process, right? And so we are in a process of growth, and I love it. Sometimes it's hard, but hard doesn't mean something's bad. Something, it just means that we're growing. And we love that you guys are growing along with us. We love you. We appreciate you. We value you. Thanks, Julia. So great. Your service was powerful. Yes, it was so powerful. Man, it just took us so deep into that space that I want to figure out a way to try to convey. The space of quieting your thoughts and your emotions, so that you can really commune with, because, as in the Christian faith, and I'm not a theologian, so I'm not trying to pull off being something I'm not, but what we learn from Scripture is that man is created in the image of God. But what we tend to do is we flip it. And for some reason, because we're man, because we're flesh, we flip that and we think that God is created in our image. We try to simplify it. It's like we try to bring God down to a place where we can understand, instead of bringing ourselves up to a place where we can commune with something that is outside of this consciousness, outside of our active thinking, but that's more connected to where our souls can actually connect. Because, we have that same, we're the part of us that is built in the image of God is this loving center that, when we get in communion with, it helps, when you can be communing with like-minded people, whatever that is for you. So when you're communing with like-minded, like vibrational people, and you open up that space, then the love that you have, that energetic love, can flow through. And it's like this, I know it sounds like I'm talking about something from Star Wars, but it's like, you can just feel it open up, and you feel other people opening up, and you feel this kind of great commune into a higher realm. And so that was really what happened today at church for us spiritually. And it really did. It made me think about how we, in our efforts to comprehend this great energetic force of love, and the idea that man is created in the image of God, we dumb God down instead of building ourselves up. And so we so underestimate what we have the ability to do. And so in the parenting realm, we really underestimate how much we can influence the environment, how much we can influence the atmosphere by quieting our emotions, quieting our fears, sometimes quieting our mouth. Sometimes it's about talking less and just loving, and just letting the love that we have for our families just shine, to just let it shine from our heart, shine from our eyes. If you're a prayerful person, to just, pray that the people that you love feel the love that you have for them, feel God's love work through you, to ask God to use you as a tool in your family, to just be an instrument to break down any barriers you may have to being able to really connect in that loving space, and to love them in the way that they need to be loved, that our children need to be loved. From that place, being able to guide. And the other thing that came up in church was just the realization of just what a good shepherd God is, and there's lots of guidance that takes place. It's not like just this love that doesn't have some guidance involved, but I think we receive guidance. Maybe we all receive guidance in different ways, and that is definitely the artistry of a good shepherd, isn't it? To be able to guide each one of your sheep in the way that they need to be guided. So there's no way. I just don't know that there's really a way just through our humanness to do that. That greater realm of love is so powerful. So that piece of quieting our fears, quieting our thoughts, quieting our agenda, and just tapping into that higher realm is so, so powerful. So I'm just going to sit here and keep talking and rambling because it was such an incredible experience today. It's something really shifted for me. One of the things I found myself doing through our music worship and prayer was pulling from different sort of healing arts that I've learned about, that one of the things that meditation does, it helps you to train in that quiet space. It helps you to train the quieting of your mind and emotion. So there's meditation, when you practice it, the more you practice it, the easier it becomes to enter into that quiet space. And then the next step is then to connect with that higher level, or that different level of energetic love. So I found myself tapping, and then I just found myself, I just allowed, just said, lead me to where I need to be. And I found this spot, actually, this one spot right here. And if you practice this, if you wanted to give this a try in your, if you listen to worship music, or if you're a prayerful person, one of the things I found myself doing is tapping into my desire for my connection, to my desire to know God. And so not just that I'm wanting, but I'm actively connecting with a higher level of love. I'm actively connecting with God, and to tap that in. Then I found this spot over here as I tapped around, and it was really tender. And I realized that that's just a place that I've cellularly stored stress, and so I didn't tap on that for too long because it's very tender, but I did massage it, and I became aware of it, and I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to work on that space, work on breathing into that space so that it can be released. So there's great power, when you start coupling healing arts, things that are truly based in love, and bringing awareness, deeper awareness to your body, and understanding that we store stress and often in this protective, like we have these protective tensions because stress and fear promise that if we cling to it, it's going to protect us. But those are lies. Just so you know, those are falsehoods many times. Now, there's occasions when, yes, of course, there is truly a tiger in the jungle, and we need to be aware of that. But, that's where listening, we got to be able to listen to our intuition. That's where I feel like that's really where we listen to it, we examine it, we know, is that love speaking, is that a past fear speaking? And when we do that, when we listen deeper to our own thoughts, then we can examine them. We can decide if they're truth or the lies from some place at a different place in our life, where a falsehood was implanted. You know, when we do that, we go through these kind of processes. That's where we really grow. Fear can give us so much pain and bad strongholds, though. Yes, it can. But it's not about hanging on to the fear. It's about like getting that third eye, like getting outside of the bubble of yourself and looking at, well, that thing I'm afraid of, analyze it. Is it real? Is it real? Is that real fear? Is this fear telling me the truth? Or is this fear from a different place in life that no longer exists for me? Did this fear come from a time when I was little and not protected? Did this fear come from a time when I was a child and I felt like if I could just be perfect enough, then my parents wouldn't be upset and they wouldn't hurt me? Does this fear come from a place where when I was little and I would go to the bathroom to take my bath, I would be molested? Now I'm scared of the bathroom. Where does this fear come from? It may have promised me protection, but do I still need to keep it? So when we start shining the light in those dark recesses of our subconscious where these ideas have gotten stored, only when we shine the light on it are we able to see if it's telling us the truth or a lie. It may have been the truth here in the past, but it may be a lie in the present. So, we went deep. That's good. That's good. Thank you. Thank you, Julia. When we talk and we converse and we dig in a little deeper, we can really, really grow together. I appreciate you all so much. I hope that whatever the atmosphere is, whether the weather is sunny, cold, or rainy, whatever it's doing in your world externally, I hope you're able to find whatever is going to create that space of peace and comfort. Not always that space of like quiet. Sometimes peace and comfort means random giddiness. Whatever it is that you are feeling the need to be in the space of, I hope that you're able to move into that space of joy, hope, love. I hope you're able to look at your children and just let how you adore them shine from your eyes, even if in the middle of doing something really quirky, even if it's something that sometimes is annoying, even if it's something where you see their pain, but to let the love that you have for them and your ever-presence just be right there. My dad just died a couple of days ago, so I'm working through that. Julie, my heart's with you. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that and being vulnerable. So in this minute, I'm just praying some supernatural peace into your heart, that you just feel God's comfort and reassurance. Your Father's not... You'll always know him because he left a big imprint on your heart. You'll miss having him in person on this earth. Of course. Just God bless you and keep you during all of this. I love you all and I appreciate you all. Remember what Brian tells us in any moment. We have one or two choices. We can act out of our same blueprints, these blueprints that are hidden from us. We can just keep acting and reacting. We can act out of our same blueprints of stress and fear and overwhelm, or we can take 1 or 2 or 10 deep breaths. If we need to cry, cry. If we need to scream, scream. 1, 2, until we get to that place where we feel the calm invade our body. And then from that space, we can choose love. Much love to you guys. Have a beautiful day. Stay blessed. And we'll see you on Monday.